Hey guys, so this is definitely not the vlog that I thought I was going to be filming today. Not that I was doing a lot today, but I thought I would do like a car vlog like I have been doing and something like that. I feel like my camera's just so high right now. Bring it down a little bit. I am just going by the light on my mirror right now because I don't want to set up lights. And my regular light in my room, I need to switch out the bulbs because they're like really, really yellow and I don't like it and it was bothering me. This light, oh my god, look how purple it makes my hair look. So weird because like in regular like sunlight and stuff, my roots look darker and they do look slightly more purple than the rest of my hair, but it is not this dramatic in the sunlight. Like look at that, that looks straight up purple. That's crazy. Oh, so weird. Oh my god. So today ended up being a pretty stressful day for me. Well, I ended after work. I got into a little bit of a vehicle incident. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to talk about what happened. Just that it ended up being very stressful, and I'm okay and they're okay, so I'm fine, like, you know, because I know that definitely there are people that are automatically going to be like, oh my god, are you okay? And you guys, and I just want to assure you guys that I'm totally fine and they're totally fine, and honestly, it really shouldn't have been as big of a deal as it got made into, but you know what? It was what it was, but I took it, I'm very, 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 very hard on myself, even when things aren't necessarily my fault. I can be very, very, very hard on myself, like, you know, and it can be difficult. And I think that's what made it so, I don't know, again, it's so hard to talk about it without actually explaining what happened, but I don't feel comfortable to talk about it, and honestly, I don't really want to, like, get into a, like, play-by-play of, like, what happened, because it's probably just going to stress me out again, and I was just already so upset earlier. And I think what it was is because this has been a very, very stressful semester for me, and I think that what it was is that it was just that final thing, like, these last couple months, it was those types of, you know, when you just go through this periods of time in your life that it just seems like one thing happens after another, like you just feel like you're being so tested by the universe, and you just wonder how much more you can even take, and that's how I felt, and I thought, you know, and you know when you get that, you feel like the worst of it is over, and then something like this happened, and it just, and today's was supposed to be my last day for my final, except that she decided to change the time, so instead of being told our essay prompt at 6 a.m., she changed it to 6 p.m., so I'm not going to be able to find that out for like another 10 minutes, which is very frustrating because I planned on having my essay done and submitted already, and it just really threw me off when I got home and couldn't work on it. But it was just, I think more than anything, it was just that one final thing, and I was done. Like, I will admit to you guys, I was bawling my eyes out, and it was just such a stressful day for me, and it was just that one final thing, and I had had it, I was a mess, and I was so upset and stressed out, and I just could not stop crying, and I was beating myself up, and I'm one of those people where I'm notorious for beating myself up because I don't know, I guess sometimes, like, you should always take responsibility for your actions, but sometimes I take too much responsibility, so sometimes I take the blame and the responsibilities for things that they're not actually something that I'm at fault for. They're not something that I'm necessarily responsible for. But sometimes I tend to take those on as well. And it's something that I'm trying to work on. But it is a work in progress. And luckily I have such a strong, supportive family that, like, I mean, I was such a mess. And I just went off about everything. I went off about what happened today. I went off about school. I went off about work. I went off about anything and everything that's just been building up and bottling up over the last 2 months that's just gone wrong, and everything that I was trying to keep it together for it, and just, I fell apart. I completely fell apart, and you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't know if I would be okay, but oh God, I love my family so much. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. But God damn it, if we're not there for each other and if we don't love each other, like when someone really needs it, we're there for each other. And when I just lost it today, nobody judged me. Nobody told me to stop. Nobody tried to, like, tell me, like, to kind of get a hold of myself or anything like that. Like, it wasn't about that. Like, it was like I was in obvious pain, and I was just, it was like they could see that, and they just went above and beyond. And not be, like, my dad, he just was so supportive. He was so supportive, and he's, I don't know, I just, like, gave him a big hug, like, later, because, you know, he's more firm. He's definitely more firm. He's less of, like, the, you know, super, like, affectionate type. I mean, he can be, but he's not, like, the type. He's not the type that's going to just, you know, say a bunch of pretty things to make you feel better. He's not that type. He's much firmer with his ways of trying to comfort you. And honestly, like, it did help, like, his talk to try and build me up and to, like, try and more forcefully make me realize, you know, that I need to give myself a little bit more credit. And it was just what I needed to hear. And sometimes, like, your family can know you better than you know yourself. And it was just, and then my mom, I talked to my mom, and I tell my mom everything. She just, the first thing she did was give me a big hug, and, like, if you were to meet my mom, you would know that, like, and it's not, I swear, it's not just, like, it's not just an any mom thing. Like, my mom in particular, like, gives the best hugs, like, the best hugs. I'm not kidding. Like, everybody loves getting hugs from her, because when she hugs you, there's just something very fulfilling and satisfying about it. Like, when she hugs you, it's a real, genuine hug that just makes you feel like everything else in the world can be bad, but somehow still things are okay. And it just, you know, and she just gave me a big hug, and she just reassured me in a more, like, gentle way, and she was just so sweet. She was just so nice, and she was just patient with me, and she was everything that a mom, you know, should be. I love my parents so much. And then I was talking, and then my brother, and it's so funny because how they all, like, kind of deal with things, and how they all approach things, trying to comfort you or offer advice. They all have such extremely different approaches. They really do, because they're all very, very different people. And if you were comparing them to me, like, even my way of dealing with things and comforting people is even more different still. We're all so different. And it was like, individually, they all sort of came together, and they just were there. And I mean, it's not that I was super surprised, but it's like, I hadn't had a moment like this that was just like that real, genuine, stressful, crying pain of, like, just, I was done. And it's been such a long time, you know, and because I'm usually so big on dealing with things myself, and I'm kind, you know, most of the time I'm like, everything's gonna be okay, I'm gonna get through this. And it just, you know, you just have those days where you just lose that hope, and today was one of those days for me. It was just not a good day for me. It was not a strong day for me. But, like, individually, my family just sort of stepped up, and I didn't ask them to, but they were just there. My brother sat, and he talked with me, and he is a very logical person. He's a very, very logical person. And he just kind of, I don't know, he just kind of went through everything with me, and he is able to help put things into perspective. He's just so good at that. He knows how to get me out of my own head and get me to look at things in a logical and realistic way, without all the bullshit, without all the what ifs and the misinterpretations and things like that. He knows how to get me out of my head to look at something and see, like, logically, this is how it is, you know, and somehow that just makes me better, because I'm like, you know what, it makes everything not seem as bad as it feels sometimes. And after that, and I was still like bawling my eyes out, but by then I gave myself a migraine because I was crying so hard and my head was pounding. So I took some ibuprofen and then I lied down, and I did fall asleep, but it was a very, very short nap, so it was like, but it was enough, because by the time I woke up, my migraine was feeling a whole lot better, because I was super scared because I needed to write an essay tonight. But it was feeling a lot better. I was really, really tired still, and I was exhausted, and that definitely hasn't helped things. I have been ridiculously exhausted, and I'm basically been running on caffeine, and I don't like to do that. I don't like, you know, getting so little sleep that I have to do that. And I know that as soon as, like, I'm done with my last final, I can actually relax. I'm not going to have all this stuff that I'm pushing myself. I'll have work still, but I won't have to push myself as hard. But this week has not been that week for me, and so being physically exhausted only made everything feel a billion times worse. But I took a nap, and then I talked to my mom a little bit more. And I don't know. I'm still tired, and I would be lying if I didn't have some anxiety, but I guess it's not as bad. Like, already things are going to get better. They're going to get better, and I am going to get through this, and I'll get through whatever happens next. I was so upset earlier that I really contemplated not even putting a video up today, because I was just like, what am I going to put up? I don't even feel like getting in front of the camera. I don't feel like doing any of it. I was just so upset. I didn't want to do anything. I couldn't read. I couldn't do anything. I just, you know, you just reach that point, you just kind of shut down, and I reached that point. But you know what? I feel better. I've calmed down. My family had a lot to do with that, because they gave me support when I needed it. And it's not very often that I ever, like, reach a point that I even need to be offered that emotional support like that. But they stepped up. They did. And honestly, I don't know if I don't think I would be doing as well right now if I didn't have that to just sort of push me through that anxiety and that breakdown. Because now I feel relatively normal again, thank God. But, and I was, you know, and now that I'm feeling better, I know I'm not dressed up for this video. I'm wearing zero makeup. I'm not doing anything. I'm just getting in front of the camera and talking to you guys, and I'm just being real with you guys that this is my day. And I also wanted to put it out there that I really love my family, and my family, you know, we're not perfect and we have our flaws, but at the end of the day, I love and appreciate my family so much, and I'm so lucky to have them. I'm just so lucky to have them. And I don't know, I guess that's my day, so that's what I have to talk about, but I wanted to talk about it. I didn't want to go into detail about what started it all, because that's over. That's over, and I don't need to get into it, and I don't need to stir it back up anymore, because that's not going to do any good. But looking back on today, realizing just how great my family is, that's something good that came out of today, despite that today on the surface seemed like such a horrible day. And then I look at that, and and I just think about how lucky I am to have my family, and it kind of just makes me think, like, maybe today's not so bad after all. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm sorry, I'm so exhausted. Hopefully things will start to get a little bit more interesting. I don't know, it won't get too exciting, but maybe it'll be a little bit more interesting more toward the weekend. Because I'll be on break and I'll actually have time to do things. Oh, imagine that. Or I'll probably spend it on Netflix or reading. I started We Were Liars, and I'm loving it. I wish I had more time to read it, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Like, as soon as I finish my essay, probably tomorrow, I am going to probably just binge read the rest of it, because I'm so obsessed with it. And I'm not even 50 pages in. And I'm like in love with it. Okay. I guess that's it. I'm like trying to hold back a cough because this cough will not go away. So I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.